Yes, happy 2018. So today we're going to be talking about how to stick to our New Year's resolutions. So I know there's so much hype, and I sent out even a lot of things around New Year's resolutions and things that we want to be doing and how to actually set intentions and really get clear on the things that we're wanting. Well, one of the things that happens that we all know is we write these lists and we have these goals, and then we basically put them away, and life happens, and we have them looming in the background, and we start off with this motivation and this ambition, and then life happens, and within about 2 weeks time, really, statistically it's around like the 15th of the month, and by the 15th and definitely by February 1st, most people have completely ditched their New Year's resolutions. So one thing that I used to do is I always had this list of things that I would set up for myself, and I'm a big dreamer, and I would have these big goals. And so then what would happen though is, and I'm all about, dream big, think big, but if your mindset's not on board, then it really is just words. And so I would sit there, and I'm really a master at mindset, and that's really where I focus a lot of my coaching and my efforts with my community and my clients, and that's really what I had to do with myself. So it's great to have these big dreams and to have these different things. Rachel, oh my God, I just left you a boxer. I was like, where are you, girl? How are you? Oh my God, I love seeing the ladies to my community. So we're talking about New Year's resolutions, and we're talking about when we set these big goals. And one of the things that I see that's really detrimental is when we have these goals that we set, but our mind doesn't really believe that they're possible. So there's a few things that I really wanted to do today and take you through a process that I do to help solidify the goals that I want to have for myself to move forward and stay in that space. And so I really wanted to share it because it's really powerful, and I think it's really helpful because there's all this hype around New Year's and all these goals that we're gonna have and all these things that we want to do, and people put so much pressure on, did you write your list, and did you create your vision boards, and did you go out and dance under the moon and burn it all? And don't get me wrong, I love all of these things and I've done them all, but it's a lot of energy into something when, what about the longevity of it? What about feeling inspired all the time to do it? What are the things that are getting in the way? So what I want you to do is I want you to get your pen and paper, and I want us to collectively come in together, and I just want you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And my clients know this, so I'm gonna have you breathe deep in through your nose, and you're gonna hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale out through your mouth. 3, 2, 1. I personally like to close my eyes. When we close our eyes, then we turn inward, so we really stay in a space of connection. So as much as I love us all looking at one another right now, well, actually I just end up staring at myself, but close your eyes so you can really turn inward to get into a connection with yourself. So before we get started, I just want you to breathe in. You're going to take an inhale in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathing in through the nose. And you're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out through the mouth. 3, 2, 1. The pattern of breathing on 5, 5, and 5 helps to really relax our central nervous system, and it helps us to access our subconscious mind and really ease the conscious mind, so all of the chatter that's going on upstairs. So if at any time you're really looking for a point of relaxation, or to just sit there and go, I just need to get in control and in a space of connection with myself, I really love just that pattern of breath, just 5, 5, and 5. And honestly, doing that in 5 breaths or 10 breaths, you are in such a calm space, and you can feel it in viscerally, and you can really feel it within your body, and there's a nice release in any tension. What's up, Carissa, girl? So now that we're coming into this space, I want you to get your pen and your paper, and I want you to write down the goals that you have for 2018. I actually want you to write down, and if you don't have any, I just want you to think about what would just make 2018, say we're gonna be on this video again, and you're like, holy shit, Melissa, like, I can't, excuse my language, like, I cannot believe I just did this year. Like, I cannot believe this was my year. What would make 2018 amazing for you? Right? So I really want you to be in that space. So yes, it is that thinking big, but what would just make it great? And it doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I sung, in Carnegie Hall. It could just be something as, I felt great in my body. Whatever that is for you, just take a moment to write that down. So what are your goals for 2018? What are the things that you are wanting? Okay, perfect. So just take another minute. We're writing down our goals for 2018, what we wanted. So for anybody that just joined, that's what you want to do. Okay, so pen and paper, and calm yourself. We just did a breath exercise of breathing in for 5, holding it for 5, and out for 5. In through the nose and out through the mouth, calming ourselves in our bodies and our minds to get ourselves into a centered space. Okay? So now once you're looking at these goals, I want you to see what you put down for yourself. As you're reading through them, going one by one, is there any piece of you that doesn't believe that what you want is possible? Is there any piece of you that's doubting that those goals can happen? So if there's any piece of you that's doubting, I just say in the comments below, like, yes, actually, like, I put some things down and I don't know how they're going to happen. When I really sit, I don't really think that they're possible. Does anybody have goals right now that you don't think are 100% possible? If anybody does, let me know. So what I want to speak to is if you have some goals that seem a bit lofty. I know that a lot of women, when they start working with me, for instance, they'll say, I really want to lose the weight, but I don't believe that it's possible. I really want love, but I don't believe it's possible. I really want a new job. Oh, Maria, girl. Oh, Rachel, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Maria, hi, girlie. It's so good to have you. So what we're doing is we're looking at our New Year's goals, and we're seeing, do we really believe that they're possible? Did what we put down, do we believe that it's possible? Here's why, guys. I'm all about dreaming big. I love big goals. But it's really uncomfortable for us to put down certain things if we don't actually believe that it's possible, and if we don't have the support or a plan to bring them into fruition. Okay? So for instance, if you're like, I want to lose, 50 pounds or 30 pounds or 100 pounds or 5 pounds, what have you. If you don't have a plan to make that happen, and you just kind of have it written out there, it's almost like, in comics when they just kind of have like a bubble coming out of their mouth and it just kind of looms over them. That's how it's going to feel for you. It's just going to feel like this lofty kind of, I know that I want it, but I don't really know how I'm going to get there, right? So I really want you to look at your goals and think, do I have a sound plan to get me there? Do I actually, aside from me just doing this, do I actually have a plan? Have I committed to something? So a few things to make our resolution stick. One, I want you to write down your goals. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to look at the goals that we have. And then I actually want you to give yourself micro goals. These are micro goals as like one goal that's going to be like, here's your big goal. What is one step below that can help get you there? Prime example, let's go back to weight loss. You want to lose weight. And you know that you really want to you have a picture of this girl in a bikini, and you're like, I never looked like that before, but this is what I want. So for an example, I did this with myself when I did a fitness competition. I didn't have a body that looked like a fitness model. Like I'd never really been ripped, right? And I didn't look like a man or anything, but I didn't ever have a six pack. I had defined abs, but I never had a six pack. I never really had big defined arms. My legs, were always muscular, but never really cut looking. So I sat there and I looked at this and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get here, right? So if I just had this picture, it wouldn't feel possible. Okay, so my point in sharing this with you is I want you to have your goals, and then I want us to have a micro goal that's going to help you to make it possible. So that way we're actually breaking down the goal process so that it can stick. So we want to look at, in this next 30 days for you, in this next 30 days, what can you commit to doing that's going to get you to those resolutions, that's going to help bring those resolutions forward? That's what I want you to look at, and that's something that I want you to do for yourself. So for example, if it is weight loss, then another micro goal would be, I am committing to working out 5 days a week. I am committed to prepping foods. I am committed to having an accountability partner, or getting a coach, or having a plan, or posting in the Done With Dieting group each day what I did to get there, right? If it's relationships that you're wanting, I am committed to going on this number of dates. I am committed to being uber responsive to people that reach out to me. I am committed to activities, and I don't know what they would actually be, right? Or I'm committed to getting a love coach, or I am committed to reading a certain number of books. If it's a new career, it's I am committed to applying to this number of jobs. Right? So I really want you to think, if it's decluttering your home, I'm committed to, decluttering my, my bathroom in my house. I want you to do these micro goals, because the micro goals are going to set you up for success, because what they're going to do is, one, they're going to move you forward. Two, they give you an action step, an immediate action step that you can take. And three, the more that you are taking those action steps towards the things that you want, you are building your own confidence to get there. Right? So you're gaining confidence, you're gaining momentum, you're staying consistent, you're staying committed, and you're seeing results. And then I want you to repeat the same thing in February, and in March, and in April. So you're taking bite-sized chunks to get to this big goal. And what you're going to see is, then in 6 months, what we do and what I do with my clients is we reassess, where are we? And you're going to be amazed, because you're going to be so much further along than where you thought you'd be, and your goals might actually have shifted, right? You might have already achieved goals and been like, whoa, I did not think I'd get there this soon. Or you might go, it's so funny, that was really important to me in January, and now that it's May, I actually don't really want that anymore. I actually feel really great, and what I actually really want now is this. Okay, so I want you to have your goals in front of you. So go and recapping this. We're writing down our New Year's resolutions goals. We first start off by centering ourselves with our breath. 5 in, hold it for 5, out for 5. We get connected to our bodies. Then we write down what our goals are, our New Year's resolutions. Then we're actually sitting, looking at our New Year's resolutions and saying, how feasible, how real do these feel to me? Do I actually think that these are possible? Do I believe this, that this is a possibility to me? Or does this just feel like I'm just spouting out dreams? I'm spouting out things that I don't actually know how I'm going to get there, and that's actually just giving me anxiety and is going to cause me to give up, right? So I want you to, right? So what we actually want to do is then create a micro goal. What is a micro goal? A micro goal is something that we can do in the next 30 days that is going to get us there, okay? What is something that we can do in the next 30 days that is going to get us closer to where we want to be? All right? So the next piece to this process is managing our mindset. So I understand that when we are wanting to retrain our mind, there is so much power, guys. I really hear me when I say this. There's so much power in repeating things to you that you do not believe to be true, and actually sitting there and saying them over and over again. I cannot tell you how many times I've done this, how many times I do this, how many times I've shared this with people, and they say, oh my God, it's so true. I was talking with one of the women from my program that just ended, Weight Loss for Life. We're starting again in March, so if anybody's interested, definitely head to my website, and we have it up there. But in Weight Loss for Life, and she just said, Melissa, one of the best takeaways for me, there are 3 pivotal things that I've done to get the results that I have. And I was just like, all right, girl, I was like, share with me what you got. And she said, I kept affirming to myself, I did what you said. I kept saying to myself each day, I'm losing weight easily and effortlessly. Each day, my clothes are getting bigger and I feel better and I feel sexy and she had this whole mantra, and I really encourage everybody to take the affirmations that I give you, but then put them in your own words so that they feel true to you, right? Because my words are my words, right? So take them as a baseline and then make them work for you so that they feel true, right? And so what she did was she sat there and she kept repeating, and she's like, and Melissa, sure enough, one day I sat there and I put my pants on and they were too big. And I was like, wait a minute. And the mantra that I had for myself, like, I look great in my body. I love what I see in the mirror. Like, she had these affirmations that she repeated to herself daily, right? Based off of, we give you like a list of different affirmations and mantras. And she just modified them for herself. And she was like, and sure enough, what you said worked. And all of a sudden, I did look at myself in the mirror and I was like, you're beautiful. And I looked at myself in the mirror and all of a sudden my pants were falling off of me. And so that's really what I want to share with you guys. So you want to affirm the things. So when you're looking at those lofty goals, right? And you're sitting there, I really want you to sit in the vision each morning and before you go to bed of what you want to experience. What do you want to see? If you want to get engaged like my girl Nancy here, see yourself getting engaged. See the ring on your finger. See the man coming in or the guy that you already have, see it happening. If you want the weight loss, see and feel your body when you're working out, envision your body getting smaller and smaller. Feel yourself getting stronger. Every time you lift a weight, see your arm getting more defined. Every time you move, every time you do a sit-up or anything, and when you're walking and you feel your body, feel your belly getting tighter and smaller and shedding weight easily and effortlessly. So these are the things that I want you to be doing. There's so much power in visualization. And it's actually proven that when we see what we want mentally, you guys, the mind doesn't know the difference between reality and dreams. It really doesn't. It's proven it does not. So you can go look it up and see. Why not then, if the mind doesn't know the difference, really stick with me here. If your mind doesn't know the difference between a dream and reality, why not turn your dreams into reality by sitting in the vision and reaffirming it to yourself each day that that is your truth, and that what you're actually seeing on a day-to-day basis, the things that you want to be changing, that they're not your truth. So I encourage you that in this process of really making your resolutions and your goals stick in 2018, a big part of them sticking is you believing them to be true. And or else it's just like what I said in my blog today. It's just words and visions on a vision board, right? And that's not going to turn them into your reality. And that's something that I can tell you I made a big mistake of doing year after year, of sitting there and being like, yeah, I'm going to dream big and I'm going to put this on my vision board. And if I look at it every day, and it's not that that's not to say that that can't work, but you want to start to believe it. And you have to be consistent with this. So I used to do that and I put it up, but like I didn't look at it every day. And when I really sat there, I didn't believe that those goals could be mine. I really didn't. When I really got down to the truth of it vibrationally, on a cellular level, mentally, spiritually, I actually didn't believe it to be true. And so they couldn't become my reality because I wasn't in alignment with them. Do you see what I'm saying? So in order to get into alignment, it is really, really important that you speak and affirm your truth each day. I am more than enough exactly as I am. I want you to, if you want to see yourself in a new house, imagine each day when you pull up into your driveway or in front of your house, imagine that you're in a new house. If you want a new car, imagine that you're driving the new car. Feel yourself in the new car, what it's like to buy the new car. There's so much power in actually believing and feeling into what it is that you want to have. So again, I love goals, I love resolutions, I love vision boards, I love all of these things, but we have to get our mindset behind them. And that's why at the beginning of this Facebook Live, I really shared with you, we get centered through our breath, we get clear on what our resolutions are. We really get in touch with, do we believe them on a scale of 1 to 10? How much do we believe those resolutions to be true and that we can have them? Do they feel overwhelming? Do they not feel possible? What is it? So then what we did was we broke them down into micro goals. Once we broke those micro goals down, we broke them down into what are those micro goals for the next 30 days? What am I committed to for this 30 days? Anybody can do anything for 30 days. Then we reassess and we go through this exact same process. So save this video and do this process again in February, and then in March, and then in April, so that next year, when we're sitting here again, you're like, Melissa, I did exactly what you said and I knocked my goals out of the park, right? And then what we're doing is we're really looking at where's our mindset. So when we have these goals and these resolutions that we've set, not only do we believe them to be true, but we have to believe them to be true in order for them to become a reality. So how do we do that? We get clear by sitting in the vision of them. We get clear by affirming them through our words, right? Our words are our wand, as Florence Levelshun says. So our words create our reality. And again, as I said before, there is no difference. The mind does not know the difference between a dream and reality. So guys, live in your dreams. Literally sit each day and visualize what you want to be your reality. And if you have multiple things, and if you're sitting there like I usually do, which is like, wait, I want so many things. What am I supposed to visualize today? Pick each day, have something different. If you want abundance and financial prosperity, then on Monday, make that your money day and sit in financial prosperity and abundance and vision that. If on Tuesday you want weight loss and you want to feel super fit and optimal health and you want to feel great in your body, see yourself getting dressed each morning and loving what you see in the mirror and pulling up your skinny jeans and having them zip right away and wearing like this amazing bikini, something you've never worn before, and just rocking it out. Sit in that vision. And on Wednesday, sit there and be like, okay, Wednesday is going to be all around love. I just want to see my relationship amazing. Great. Take each day and visualize it and see it as your reality. And then take that reality with you. Take that dream and that vision with you throughout the day. When you're working out, see your body getting smaller, feel it getting smaller. Again, when you're in your car, envision the car that you want to have. When you are in your home, envision the house that you want to have. Feel into it. See yourself having the relationship that you want. See yourself having the body that you want. See yourself having the life that you want. And it will be yours. And affirm it each day with your words. These are the steps and the processes that will make your goals stick, because you'll feel so damn good that you don't want to stop. And not only that, you'll believe them to be your reality, so you won't quit. You'll just keep going. And that's really the power. That's the magic behind manifesting. That's the magic behind goal setting and achieving your goals. I always say, in order to achieve your goals and to, for instance, lose weight and have lasting weight loss, your goals and the steps that you take need to be attainable, to be sustainable, to be maintainable. And it's the same thing with your goals. That's why I had you create those micro goals. It's really, really important. And yes, as Maria's saying, my, my blog, I think on Tuesday or on Monday, I sent out, was it Tuesday? I don't know. Maria can just go to my website, melissakathryn.com, and you can go under my blogs and see. But I did a great blog on acting as if, and living your life acting as if you already have it, acting as if everything that you desire is already yours. When you act from that space, then we can attract in that which we desire most. But when we're sitting in a space of fear, and I have these goals, but I don't actually believe them to be reality, you're actually attracting the lack of that which you desire most. And that actually pushes it further and further away. And that's the opposite of what you're wanting. So really be in that space of acting as if, right? So I hope that this was helpful. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I said today? Are there any goals that you have that you're kind of struggling with? You're sitting there and going, Melissa, I'm trying to apply what you're saying, but this is hard for me right now, or any questions that you have. I am here, so let me know. I've really been trying to feel that acting as if, and I love it. Perfect. Yes, Maria, it makes all the difference. Guys, just think about it. When you, I had somebody say this to me, and God, who was it? I'm trying to think, because I would love to give them credit right now. And, it was my friend Nicole Moore. And she said, and Nicole Moore is an amazing relationship coach. Check her out at loveworksmethod.com. I'm now doing like a full shout out to her. I love her. She's a great friend of mine. And we were talking, and she was just like, each morning I get up and I draw a line in the sand. And I wake up and embody who I want to be. And the minute I put my feet on the ground, I live into that persona of who I am. not who I was yesterday. I don't bring all the crap in. I don't bring all the I should have, I would have, I could have. I don't bring 10 years ago. I don't take ownership over anything. Who am I creating today? What do I want to be today? And that's the beauty of life, right? It scares the hell out of a lot of people. It's like, why do I have to live this Groundhog's Day? But it's not Groundhog's Day. Each day, that's the beauty of it. Each day you get to wake up and live and create whatever you want. You get to experience whatever you want. You get to be whoever you want. You can be so happy. You can give so much love and radiate and shine. You can do so many things. And you can be so many things for other people and for yourself. So I take each day and I live into, what do I want? Who do I want to be? How do I want to show up? And what do I want to experience in this world? And how I show up is going to be my experience. And that's what I really encourage each of you. So that's a little sidebar lesson onto today's making your goals stick in 2018. So Maria said, how do you recommend practicing compassion on yourself when you're not feeling your best? Well, that's a great question. So compassion is the key to staying committed and to consistency. Compassion is really another form of self-love. And when we're moving out of this space of dieting, right? I believe in being done with dieting, and I actually am, and so much of, I'm a weight loss coach, but it's really about inner and outer transformation. I take people on a journey of coming back to the wholeness of themselves, to the truth of who they are, before we lived into the stories of other people, before we lived into the different challenges that we've had in life that we took ownership of, because we often take our stories and make them our identity. And I'm really into believing and teaching people how to shed those stories and to come back to the truth of who they are. A big piece of that, Maria, is about compassion. So I really, when we're working with compassion, I encourage everybody to think of themselves, think of the little girl within you. If a little girl is standing in front of you, would you say the words that you say to yourself in that moment? Would you be unforgiving towards her for what she ate, or what she did or didn't do, or what she said or didn't say? No, you wouldn't. You would give her a big hug and you would love her up. And so that's really what I would encourage you to do. When you're not feeling your best is when you need the most love and compassion. It's so easy to be loving towards ourselves when we feel good, right? How many of us are kind to our bodies when we wake up and our stomach's flat and we fit into the clothes that we want and we feel good that day? All of a sudden we're like, oh my God, I love you, body. You're so good to me, right? No. Well, what about the day when you just ate like crap the night before and you wake up on little sleep and you're bloated and you're mean to yourself, right? That's when you need yourself the most. So start practicing to love you, Maria, and have that compassion, and be in that space, because that's what's going to give you the support that you need to stay committed to your goals. See, when you start turning on yourself, that's when you go towards the food. That's when you start derailing yourself and sabotaging yourself. It's when you love you that you stay true to you. It's when you love you that you're filled up with love for yourself, that you don't need food, that you don't need you don't need outside approval or acceptance. All you need is to accept you. So I encourage you to practice compassion as much as possible, and to love you up, and to think of a friend in front of you, or a child, or your own little girl that's within you, and think, what does she need most? Because the last thing she needs is a slap across the face, or to have you turn your back on her. What she needs is love and forgiveness and acceptance, because we're human, and take perfection off the table. It doesn't exist. So be there for yourself that day. So that's kind of a long-winded way to say this. And I just saw somebody else say, what are the 4 C's? And it's compassion, commitment, consistency, and connection. So yeah, the feeling of my desires must precede its manifestation. Thank you for sharing that, Soraya. That's really beautiful. Yeah, so you really want to be in that space of the compassion is what's going to keep you connected. And again, so I will get spiritual here in the sense of A Course in Miracles always states, and I've said this before, A Course in Miracles doesn't state this piece, this is what I say, but when we say yes to dieting, we say yes to separation from self. The minute that we start to see something wrong with ourselves is the minute that we start separating from ourselves and from our divine truth and from love. There are only two human emotions that exist, and it's love and fear. Fear is, I'm not enough. I don't like myself. I'm in a place of self-sabotage. I'm not whole or enough exactly as I am. I need to lose weight. All of those things, really think of anytime you're in a place of not being compassionate, you're in a place of separation because you're in a place of not fully loving you, right? So when we're in a place of separation, nothing feels good. Remember, the path to feeling good never feels bad. So when we don't feel good, we are not actually in alignment or in truth with ourselves, okay? But when we are in love, and so if you, for example, go from a place of I'm really being, mean to myself, I'm really in a space of I don't like me right now, I don't like how I'm showing up, I'm saying a lot of negative things to myself, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. When you can turn and shift, and the best way to turn and shift is by going right to gratitude and by turning to love. That will cause an immediate connection and will do a reframe from a place of disconnection to a place of connection, a place of disconnection and fear to a place of connection and love. From that place, you will serve you and fill you up. And from there, you can go right into connection, to consistency, to commitment, and stay in a place of loving compassion where you will do things that will serve you as opposed to derail you. So I hope that was really helpful. And great question. I'm so glad that you asked it. So I hope that you enjoyed today's Facebook Live. Definitely stay tuned next week on Done With Dieting Live. We are going to be talking about how to overcome a binge and how to bounce back fast. So it's really banishing binges, overcoming a binge, and bouncing back fast when staying in full connection and love for you. So thank you so much for being here. If you want additional support, head on over to our Facebook community. It is a private and exclusive community just for you called Done With Dieting. Just go in there and ask to be approved, and we will approve you and bring you on in so that you can get more free complimentary support to fully being done with dieting and to showing up as the best version of you to really thrive in life in a body that you love. And that's what I am here and all about. If you want to learn more about me, please go to my website, melissakathryn.com, where you can go and check out my blogs. We have a bunch of recipes for you, a bunch of videos, and a lot of great free resources for you to get back on track fast. We also have a lot of people always ask me what are some good book recommendations. My book is in there along with a bunch of other books that I highly recommend. So it's a great website with a ton of great resources for you. And we also have my free guide for Sunday food prep, which is a 3-part video. Malia, if you could put, thank you girl, she just put it right there. And if you could also just put my website, Malia, that would be great. So the Done With Dieting Facebook group's right there, so you can head on over and make sure to join. And we're gonna be doing a lot of fun things in there this month and in the next few months to come. And then also head on over to my website and you can get my free gift, which is my Sunday food prep guide with recipes, videos, and a bunch of other things. So go and check that out. It was so great to be with you. Thank you so much for showing up, and I hope that I'll see you next week, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain. Love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and share this with your friends. That would mean the world. The more women that we can support to being done with dieting and coming back to the wholeness of themselves, to loving themselves, and to shedding the weight with ease, God, we are healing the world. So thank you so much again, and I will be with you soon.